welcome back to Storytime. Today's theme is raccoons. We chose raccoons because that is our animal for this year's Journey Across Delco. If you'd like to participate in Journey Across Delco this year, you can get a pamphlet at our Summer Quest kickoff on June 5th. The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. And wiggle my waggles away. Clap, clap, clap my crazies out. Clap, clap, clap my crazies out. Clap, clap, clap my crazies out. And wiggle my waggles away. Jump, jump, jump my jingles out. Jump, jump, jump my jingles out. Jump, jump, jump my jingles out. And wiggle my waggles away.
I gotta yawn, yawn, yawn my sleepies out. Yawn, yawn, yawn my sleepies out. Yawn, yawn, yawn my sleepies out. And wiggle my waggles on the way. I gotta
shake, shake, shake my sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. And wiggle my waggles away. And wiggle my waggles away.
Muddy, the Raccoon Who Stole Dishes by Griffin, Ondaatje. Out of the city where the highway ends and the road turns to gravel and the gravel turns to dirt and grass begins to grow by Mud River lived a raccoon. Like all raccoons, he knew how to take care of himself. He ate at night and slept at the top of a tree all day. His name was Muddy Whiskers, and he still lived with his parents. Muddy was ordinary. He weighed 15 pounds, was 10 inches tall, and could open most garbage lids in under a minute, but he couldn't stand ordinary raccoon food. He refused to eat frogs, slugs, acorns, turtle eggs, crayfish, or clams. He only wanted to eat garbage, any leftover food he could find, and he liked to eat it on plates. "Our son's a picky eater," his parents would say. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Whiskers, were hard-working raccoons. Every night they stood on the shore of Mud River with other raccoons digging for clams. They dunked each clam in the water 17 times, as raccoons do, and after eating, they washed the shells and left them in big piles on the riverbank. Then they stood and gazed at a fancy new restaurant across the river. All of the Mud River raccoons used to live in the city, and all of them were banished because they'd eaten too much garbage. None of them wanted to get in trouble again, so every raccoon promised not to cross Mud River to steal people's leftovers. Muddy was the only raccoon who couldn't make that promise. "Why shouldn't we eat delicious leftovers if they leave them in big bins for us to find?" he asked his parents. So he stayed in his tree and kept thinking about garbage. Each evening, his father stood at the bottom of the tree and called to Muddy. "Why don't you come down here and help us wash these clams?" "I'm busy," Muddy called down, but Muddy was only busy waiting for the restaurant to open. When the open sign flashed on, Muddy hurried across the river to Le Grand Bistro, stole a plate from the patio, then dug through the garbage bins, piling on whatever he could find. He'd eat, then dunk the plate 17 times and add it to a big pile on the riverbank. Muddy's parents were worried, knowing Muddy was somewhere eating garbage. "He'll cause trouble," Muddy's father muttered, and sure enough, one night, Muddy did. Muddy left his tree ready to get soggy pizza, dry corn cobs, and sticky marshmallows. But when he got across the river, Muddy noticed the door to the restaurant kitchen was open. He looked inside and saw a big plate full of golden French fries. Muddy climbed up onto the counter, took a French fry and dipped it 17 times in a glass of water, and ate as fast as he could. This is easier than looking for leftovers, he thought. Suddenly, he heard footsteps. He grabbed the plate and floated it onto the water, nudging it across with his nose. As Muddy climbed out of the water, he bumped into his parents. His father's eyes widened. "Where did you get that plate?" "From the restaurant across the river," Muddy said, dropping the plate and spilling the fries. His father's short, hairy arms poked the air and his paws frantically pulled his ears. "Raccoons don't steal plates," he cried. "What were you thinking?" "Calm down," Muddy's mother said. "You'll attract the other raccoons." His father stroked his ears till he calmed down, but by now a crowd of raccoons had gathered. "I thought we'd agreed not to steal leftovers," an old raccoon said. "Now your son's stealing plates?" "Our son's a picky eater," said Mrs. Whiskers, wringing her paws. "That's no excuse," insisted the old raccoon. "He'll get us all in trouble." The wise old raccoon had been chased out of more garbage bins than anyone. His nose was scratched and the tip of his tail was missing. "How many plates have you stolen, Muddy?" he asked. "A lot." Muddy showed his parents and the other raccoons the gleaming plates stacked in piles down the shore. Amazed, the old raccoon said, "Well, we'll have to wash the plates again and return them to the restaurant." "Good idea," agreed Muddy's parents, "and Muddy will promise not to steal leftovers again." The raccoons formed a line along the shore, each dipping a plate 17 times. They washed and scrubbed the plates with their sensitive fingers until they sparkled. Then the old raccoon said, "Lead the way to the restaurant, Muddy." Muddy and all the others waded across the river, all of them holding plates above their heads. When they reached La Grande Bistro, Muddy hurried to the head waiter and held up the plate. "I stole your plates," he said in raccoon language. "We washed them so you don't have to wash them again." His mother nudged him forward. "And as I stand here before you, I promise with all my heart to stop eating your leftovers." But by then, every person had left the restaurant. Muddy stood and eyed all the plates. "Well, it seems a waste not to eat all this food."
Bye. See you next time.